Hi, Heath Thompson here. It's been a long time since I've done a video recording, probably 2 or 3 years. It's now the 12th of December 2018. Um, what's inspired me to do a recording is something that one of my work colleagues said on Facebook about an experience he had, but also a couple of experiences I've had recently where this has really played out, where I see it actually at work in other people, and there is no awareness of it happening. And when you know about it and you see it, it's kind of spooky. And I think it might explain a little bit about things like the law of attraction and how it can seem like, if you're into Taoism and so on, how the flow is making life go in a certain way for you. But also, it's important if you feel like you're repeating patterns that you can't stop repeating, good or bad ones, usually bad if you want to stop them, and how you can change those. Um, so part of this has come from my own experiences, and a lot of it's come from when I was doing my clinical hypnosis degree and studying psychology and so on. So what actually happens is every moment of the day there is a filtering process that goes on between the kind of deeper unconscious level of the mind into what appears and what goes into the rational decision-making consciousness of the mind, the awareness. I think I first thought about this was when I was doing a Qigong practice. I noticed that if I was doing an exercise, it might just be something like spinning your arms around, which of course you can't see, but spinning your arms around. If you keep repeating the same move, at some point or other, the mind drifts off, but your body is still doing the same. You can experience this when you're driving. If you're an experienced driver, you can be kind of not really aware of where you're driving, but of course your body at a certain level, underlying the conscious awareness, is still pushing the accelerator pedal, gas pedal, and so on and so on, and doing all these things and turning right and whatever. What happens is when the body and the mind is used to repetition, then the brain understands that that repetition doesn't need to be at the forefront of awareness until something breaks that pattern of repetition, which allows the body in a kind of survival mode to become more focused on things that aren't a repetitive pattern. So there might be things that are coming into your uh, field of view or into your awareness, whatever. I'll come to that in a moment. But so yeah, you might be in a Tai Chi class or something, and you're doing a move, and it's all great, and then you start thinking about other things, and then everything's fine until the instructor suddenly makes a little subtle change, and you can think, well, what was that? And then your awareness is back again because you're no longer repeating the same pattern. And then once that sinks down again to a certain level, then you either drift away. It kind of sinks into the unconscious. Now this is happening every moment of the day. And what's happening in the brain is that the brain is looking to kind of compartmentalize patterns that are repeating in your life that don't require your conscious awareness or your full focus. So it underlies what's actually happening during your life because the brain is trying to leave space for you to react to things and make decisions. Now, the important thing is when we're making a decision, we're not aware of the fact normally, but you are going to be aware of it now, that the brain is filtering out what you're seeing. So you're making decisions on a kind of filtered set of data and not the fully aware set of data. So like our eyes have all this information coming into us, and our ears have all this sound coming into us, but the brain has to deal with it to allow us to focus and live and survive. Now, this is happening with our day-to-day patterns, because let's say, for example, and this is where it gets important, let's just say I have the belief that I have to work hard in life to make a living, and that I've had parents or friends around me that I see struggling and so on, and I believe this. If I experience that, then that compounds and strengthens that belief. And when that belief becomes an experience and a reality, then it becomes a pattern that the brain is then thinking, well, that is the pattern, that is the experience, then I must filter out all information that doesn't fit in with that experience and deliver it to the rational thinking, aware, focus mind. Therefore, in a way, you are always seeing what you're always seeing, and you're making decisions based on a filtered set of data that is supporting and trying to strengthen this pattern that actually, in some cases, you want to break away from. So, I've probably had that in the past where I think, I've been told in sales and so on, oh, if you throw enough mud at a wall, some of it sticks, meaning that if you do enough hard work, you will be successful. But of course, if the work that you're doing isn't successful, the more you do of it, the more likely you're going to fail. Um, and then I noticed that at one point I got this belief out of experience. So the experience occurs first, and then the belief kind of strengthens it. Is that no matter how much money I make, if I make a lot of money in a month, I get a lot of bills in a month. If I make not a lot of money in a month, I don't get so much bills. It's as though something is keeping me like just above sinking. And now if I believe that, then what my brain is doing is seeking out patterns that repeat that experience. So if somebody comes along and says, here's a book, or here's a movie, or a mentor that can change this pattern, then my unconscious mind, despite what I'm rationally thinking, like, hey, this is a really good new method, I'm going to use it. Chances are that method's not going to work, because the rational mind and the unconscious mind is still trying to filter into the rational mind where you make your decisions. It's still filtering out the stuff it thinks you don't need to repeat the existing patterns. So if there's something new that you're learning that would change those patterns, the mind is trying to, the unconscious mind is trying to filter that out so you don't really see it. So you can't grab those chances because it's filtering out those chances. So this could come down to taking orders and business that just compound the fact that you've got to work hard for not a lot of money. And if you think, today I'm going to believe that something easy is going to come along and I'm going to get this big order and it's going to be simple and I will hardly have to do any work for it, then that's not going to happen. And when the old repeated patterns come, you start to think, oh God, this is my life, I'm never going to be able to restructure this or change it. And that in itself is another confirming pattern that compounds the stuff. So the brain is only trying to make life easier for you by filtering out what it thinks you don't need to be living in the patterns that you're used to living. So if you need to change those patterns, then you need to feel and experience that change for it to happen at a deeper level than the thinking mind, so that the brain then realizes a change in experience in this very same way that it has to stop and think when the Qigong or Tai Chi instructors suddenly change the pattern of what you're doing. So, where examples of this? I saw a while ago. I was watching a movie. It was I think it might have been qigong, but it had spiritual elements to it. And this is going to sound arrogant, I suppose, but I've already seen this movie because it was my DVD, and I knew that there were certain sections in it that would be important for this person to watch to kind of get them to this next level. But there was three there was three moments in this movie where I was thinking, right now this is it. But at the very time, the very moment that that person started speaking on the video, that the friend that I was with started talking about something else. It was spooky because the very moment this part started and the very moment it finished, this person started talking about something they'd already seen previously. So they didn't hear a single word of what was being said on the video that could have changed their pattern and got them through into that next level of understanding. It was spooky. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, shut up, will you? You know, this is it. This is it. But I didn't. And then the next bit went on to something else, a clip about somebody else, and sat there quietly, both watching it. And this person came back with this really great thing to say. And my friend started talking again. And it's weird. And the same is if you're reading a book. It might be about, I don't know, meditation, calming down your life, and all this kind of thing. You're not aware of this, but on the page that you're reading, your unconscious mind is filtering out what it thinks you don't need to take into your awareness. So you could be reading with your eyes some great, amazing information that could change your life, but the brain can be filtering that out. So what you're actually concentrating on the most is something that further repeats your current situation. So, how to do something about it? Let's say I want my work to be easy. This is what I'm going to do, right? This is going to be my plan now for 2019 is that I'm going to this is not very spiritual, but I'm going to plan that my work is going to be easy, that money just comes to me and I'm going to save lots of money and I'm going to have great time with lots of free time. The orders that are going to come in are going to be easy, that it's going to be like a miracle that these just the right orders at the right time with people throwing money at me where I'm actually going to save something. It's going to be so easy. I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it feel, I'm going to feel it so that I start to experience it, not in here, but down. You know, I'm going to feel how that is going to be and feel and how good that is going to be in my life. And then my mind, not my mind, but my unconsciousness is going to filter in the information and the data that is around at that time to support this new way of feeling and experiencing. I'm going to give you one other example. About 10 years ago, I had this kind of awakening experience. And I just thought everything was beautiful. My God. Wherever I looked, I saw this presence of utter beauty. Even something I would conventionally see as being horrible, rubbish, was just filled with beauty. And I felt like my heart was light and I was at peace and everything was great. And then somebody, I don't know, on a forum said to me, yeah, but you still have an awareness of the self with a big S because you're seeing the beauty. I thought, whoa, you're right, no? I'm still having this awareness of something and not this kind of no thingness, not this settling deeper down of this place where there's no word for it at all, no thought of it at all in a way, but just the seeing of it. And then I lost the beauty. Because my mind was thinking, yeah, you're seeing the beauty, but you shouldn't be. You're seeing the presence, but you shouldn't be aware of it. Because it's the self. And then I kind of got into this very dark hole. Where there's just kind of nothing at all. And no reason for anything. Which, yeah, I know. And no interest in anything either. Just this nothing. Nothing at all. And this does come to me at time, and those people who know Laura, my partner, she will also see it, that I could become like a stone, like I'm dead. I said I was interviewed once on Conscious TV before I came to Austria, and I was talking about my life felt like I'm a dead man walking. And then I realized about nature more. Of course, I knew about nature, but that it doesn't have to be this way. So I'm not going to go about that now. But what it shows you is that if you feel something deeply enough, it becomes your experience, and that experience becomes repeated. So we have to be careful about what we're thinking and the self, either denying or self-fulfilling comments that we're telling ourselves. I'm not good at my job. I'm always making mistakes. If you say those kind of things, then this is how it's going to be delivered to you. If your experience is that you always pick the wrong partner, then you're always going to pick the wrong partner. Or you're going to feel like you're picking the wrong partner because your mind is filtering out the things that would tell it that you've got the right partner, or how to identify the right partner. Simple, huh? So we have a filter, and we got this thing here that thinks it's making all the decisions, but it's like a horse with blinkers on the side that can't see anything beyond it. And all this beyond it is the stuff that could potentially change what you're looking for. That's all I have to say. 17, 18 minutes long. Was it Lao Tzu that said, teach without speaking or something like that? Now I'll shut up. Thank you.